Tyrone Gethers Jr. with RMS Radio live on KUAW Radio. You can check out this broadcast a number of ways. You can go to Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Roku, YouTube, uh, TuneIn Radio, and type in KUAW and we'll pop right up. Please share this broadcast. You can also call 816-599-6893 to interact with our panel. RMS Radio is a broadcast in conjunction with Raytown Middle School and KUAW Radio that gives students the opportunity to tell the news and tell what they see from their perspective. What I want to do right now is let each member of our panel introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Rain.
My name is King.
My name is Mayana.
All right. Now, today we have a pretty decent show for you all. I will go ahead and start us all off with women's history. What do you all know about women's history?
It's not much that I know about women's history.
And that's an honest answer because, I mean, they don't really teach women's history in school.
Yeah.
Not at all, and that's an issue. So, I mean, why do you think they don't teach women's history in school?
Well, it could be that, schools, I'm pretty sure it was created by men and then, it, could have been sexist from the beginning of time and then that just didn't, be cleansed over time and they didn't start worrying about teaching women's history and they, some people don't really care to try to make change and shed light on things. So I think they just was fine with going about not talking about it.
Okay. And out of respect for the ladies on the panel, what do you think? Why do you think women's history is not taught in schools?
Mainly because, people say men. Oh, mainly because men have made a lot of things, but they don't really appreciate stuff that women has made.
Okay. That's a fair statement. What do you think, Ms. Hughes?
Well, I think it probably doesn't get taught because I don't think they really try to stress about how women how they didn't have rights and now they do, and I think maybe it doesn't mean that much to them as much as other things, but
it's all about priorities.
Yeah.
Okay, so what RMS Radio did was we went out and we got some facts, some little known women's history facts that we would like to share with you.
The first Women's History Day was held in 1909.
Janara Cobb was the first woman to pass astronaut testing in 1961.
In 1987, Women's History Month began.
The president declares every March Women's History Month.
The 19th Amendment didn't give all women the right to vote.
Wyoming Territory was the first place to grant women the right to vote.
Every Women's History Month has a theme.
It wasn't until 1965 that all women could legally vote.
The president declares every March Women's History Month.
The day became Women's History Week in 1978.
Women now outnumber men in the college education labor force.
Women couldn't get credit cards on their own until 1974.
Mothers are less likely to be hired.
Aretha Franklin was the first woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
More women are earning college degrees than men.
Women of color are paid even less.
The first Women's Day was held in 1909.
Women history became a holiday in 1911.
Women make up 14% of active duty military members.
February 28, 1909 marked the first Women's Day history in New York City.
Eleanor Roosevelt held all women press conferences.
In 2021, 57.8% of all women participated in the labor force.
It commemorated the 1-year anniversary of the garment workers' strikes when 15,000 women marched through the lower Manhattan.
Women outnumber men as they get older.
Did you say number 24 already?
Yeah, you can start reading these. These are good information.
Oh.
From 1909 to 1910, immigrant women had worked in garment factories held a strike to protest their working conditions. Most of them were teen girls who worked 12 hours a day. In one factory, Triangle Shirtwaist Company, employees were paid only $15 a week. History.com describes it as a true sweatshop. Sorry.
Women are outnumbering men in earning post-secondary degrees. According to 2021 data from the Education Data Initiative, 59% of women continue their education after high school, compared to 50% of men.
Geraldine Jerry Cobb was the first woman to pass astronaut testing in 1961.
Young women worked in tight conditions as sewing machines, and the factory owners didn't keep the factory up to safety standards. In 1911, the factory burned down and 145 workers were killed. It pushed lawmakers to finally pass legislation meant to protect factory workers.
Research shows that hiring managers are less likely to hire mothers than they are women without children. When they are offered jobs, women also face what is known as the motherhood penalty, earning less money.
I think you all did an amazing job with that research. But I mean, you said some groundbreaking things, and you also said some things that were very shocking as well too, as far as the historical aspect with women. What pieces of information stood out to you as you were reading them? Like, which one just like sticks in your mind more? Like with me, the one that got me was the credit card one. When you said women couldn't have credit cards till like the 1970s, that's like crazy to me right there. You know, like they couldn't go out and get credit cards.
Yeah.
But I think, but the main fact that I think you all didn't say was the one that really was an issue, was that women, if you look at history, it's like very recent that women were able to vote, like in the early 1900s, which I mean there are some people that are alive right now who are still around that time period, who are alive around that time period. Women are just now having the right to really have a solidified vote, and I thought that was always an issue. Like, you had all these men voting since the early 1700s, but not until the early 1900s women were able to vote.
A fact that stood out to me was the 15,000 women that marched through the lower Manhattan. That stood out to me because it's like when it's that many people doing something, it must mean that it's an important, obvious change that needs to be made. And they was very courageous for doing that.
Mm-hmm. What other women's history facts stood out, that caught your attention? It's kind of sticking with you.
One that stood out to me was that women of color got paid less, which kind of had to do with racism in the past before Martin Luther King had his speech.
Right, his movement, yeah. So you got racism and sexism. Yes. And I think that still goes on right now to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still goes on. How about you?
The one that stood out to me the most is the one that said mothers are less likely to be hired.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, I think schools need to be more cognizant because when you go to schools, let's just be real here, the majority of your teachers are women.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you would think that if you have a majority amount of women in your buildings, that you would have a heavier influence of their history throughout the building. Same thing like we said during Black History Month. You know, the majority of your students are of African descent. You know, you would think you would have a more influx of their history. You know? So what do you think schools can do to get more history about women in their curriculum? If you have the control.
If I had the control, I would make it like to where maybe we could have a project or something though, but to assemble like woman facts, that kind of like how how math and stuff is drilled in our heads. Like if somebody was actually like a woman fact, like things that inventions are things that they created should be taught to us, like very important movements and inventions. Because I didn't know about the 15,000 people that marched to in Lower Manhattan. They could like explain things like that.
Explain things more in depth.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they could probably like try to have us like read things or do web quests and like have us do search it up for ourselves or teach it to us, because I had to do my own research to find out about like stuff that happened in women's history, because they really don't teach anything. It haven't even been noticed. More things just to like give out when you're done, like extra assignments.
And not the actual assignment.
Right.
Yeah.
I think teachers that do history as a curriculum for students, they should have units where students will learn about women or like what they did in the past from what was happening in the present. You know.
Good. And also, like I would say, like guest speakers. We try to. And I'm gonna go ahead and not shout this person out, but call them out, because I got Mr. Walker back here. I'm known for calling out people who, I don't want to say stiffs us, but are no show, but people who we reached out to that need to reach back. I actually reached out to Representative Sharice Davids over in Kansas to come up and meet with our kids. And I mean, I understand you're busy and everything, but at the same time, you're never too busy to give back to students, especially if our students acknowledged you, the historical impact, not imprint, but impact that you've made for not only women, but women of color. And not only women, but women of color, but those who are LGBTQ plus as well, too. So we acknowledge that. So if Sharice Davids is listening, RMS Radio is wanting you to reach back and come and, give back to the students. So, but like we're saying that, I mean, we have so much history here, and I think we need to look at the grassroots that's within our community as well, too. Do you think that there's anything historical with women going on in the areas in which you live, whether it's a school or where you go hang out or your neighborhoods or where your parents work? Or do you think your parents represent anything within women's history?
I think my mom do.
And how is your mom historical?
Because she always teaches me things about history, and if it was anything that I knew from history, I learned it about women's history. I learned it from my mama.
Excellent. That's dope. I like that.
Yeah.
Anybody else? You can't think of anybody? I think women in general. I mean, the fact that women carry life, that's historical in itself, right there. I just think that, when it comes to men and women, you can't talk about one without talking about the other. And I just, my philosophy, you can't sit up here and have a photo and there are people that's in the room that's not in the photo and you don't address that. Everyone needs to be represented in that photo. So I think schools in general need to do a better job of, having, safe spaces for people to not only just talk about women's history, but history of all groups. Because yes, women are a disenfranchised group in this country. I mean, we just got through saying that women couldn't have a credit card to the 1970s.
Yeah.
Women couldn't vote to the early 1900s. Women are just now. But we're not stating the fact that you said that, you have more women who are getting post-secondary degrees. But then on the second hand, on the other side of the coin, that same woman is getting paid less than her male counterpart. More than likely her white male counterpart. And that's an issue. So you have this nice degree, but you're getting paid less than someone who probably has less education than you because of your gender. And that needs to stop. I think the more education that takes place, the less discrimination that you'll see. So, any other closing comments on Women's History Month?
Nope.
I got one. Celebrate it. Learn something. Okay. Next on our list, we have school dress code. And really, dress code kind of ties into women's history to a certain degree because, in my opinion, being a teacher for the years I've been teaching, dress code hits females a lot harder than it does boys. Why do you all think that?
Well, it's because they don't want the females showing no skin. That like things, if a guy did it would be different.
Mm-hmm.
Like they feel a female is trying to get attention or something, so they set rules on them. That's different from guys.
Okay. Anybody else?
Well, I think that it might be more strict for girls because of showing the skin and the crop tops and stuff like that. But a girl would get addressed if she have something like that on. But I've seen plenty of boys sag and no one say anything about it. But I think it might be a little bit more different for boys than the girls.
I mean, I think it's the same thing. You got guys that are showing their underwear and showing, things when they sag, but they don't say anything. But things are said to girls when she shows her stomach in a crop top. Yeah, I think that's an issue. What do you think, Rain?
I agree with what she was saying.
Okay. There's a teacher, friend of mine, and hope she's listening. She made a good point. She said that it's a shame that girls are expected to dress based on how someone might perceive them. That's a messed up thing. So you got to pick your outfit out based on what someone might think of you when you put it on. And that's an issue. It's like you got to control how someone thinks based on what you wear. But you don't hear that with boys. That's a huge issue, like with the whole sagging issue. So what are some things that you feel guys get away with the dress code that a girl does not get away with? Or vice versa?
Ski mask is one of them. The ski mask.
So a boy can wear like a ski mask.
And even if they can't, I remember for the longest they wore so. And I believe that if a girl had on crop top or something, they'd have to go to the office or nurse and change it out.
Yeah.
But the dude ski mask, I mean, the most you'll get is a warning. Or after they done seen it, in your 7th hour, they'll say they'll take it for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's just harder on girls. You play football.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed, with sports, you see guys, they take their shirts off. Yeah, but then they, this is every school that has sports. You see guys walking up and down the hall with their shirt off. I tell guys, put your shirt on. Why? Well, because you're walking around with your shirt off. She can't do that. You shouldn't do that either. It needs to be a form of decorum. But as far as dress code goes, what are some things that you would like to see? And when we say school dress code across the board, that you feel schools in general need to adopt, what are some things that you feel schools need to have in their dress code policies that is equitable for both males and females?
They said PJ, but some of the class said PJ attire. I think that should stay not a that should stay dress code. I don't think you should be wearing your pajama clothes out in the public. So, or yeah, they for at home. It's pajama pants. It's sleep attire. So, I think that's what it should be used for only.
Okay. Dress code. Anything you want. Like if you have the opportunity to change school dress code across the board for every school, what would you want to implement or take away?
I think tank tops are all right as long as they don't, reveal a lot. But with the pajama pants that he was saying, I get that it's, pajamas and you need to wear a proper attire like sweatpants or jeans. But as long as, like, if you have a PE class and you change out of them, then I guess that's okay.
Okay. I got you.
I think that how our dress code is fine because everything you're saying is like true, and like I don't think you should walk around in your PJs and all the like sagging and stuff. I think it's just more to show how you would like look if you like had a job or something, more to be more professional and not to like walk around like with the stuff they're trying to make you not walk around in.
I like how you said they're like, like a job.
Yeah.
But let's rock the boat a little bit. Should teachers follow a dress code?
Yes.
Rain said that fast? Okay. What would you like teachers to do as far as dress code?
Like wear like a proper attire?
Yeah. What would you want teachers to do in a dress code?
Of course, like wear something appropriate so like the students, like if any male students like have a crush on the teacher, I guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or just like make sure it's in the teacher code, so like don't wear anything inappropriate.
It's a professional.
Yeah, professional wise.
Not no club clothes.
Yeah.
Side note, I used to work at a school, and it was my first year teaching. This was a long time ago, back in the 60s, right?
Oh my
And
gosh.
and my principal walked up in the building, and she had on a nice dress, but it was a dress that you would wear to, like an after 5. You know what that means? Like a club dress.
Yeah.
And she wore that to work, and I'm like, that's not for work. So I get what you're saying, like professional attire. Okay.
I think the hats. I think hoodies. I agree.
No, for adults, for teachers.
Oh, for those. Well, I think they shouldn't have to follow the dress code because at the end of the day, I get it. They still grown ups. Yes, they're teachers, but they're grown. So I feel like it shouldn't. Well, I feel like they shouldn't have to follow the same dress code as we should, but they should still have one. Like, and I say this because at that age, I feel you should be educated and professional. Shouldn't be wearing nothing to where they should even have to tell you to take off. I feel like you should already know that. That's why I feel like they shouldn't have the same dress code that we do.
Okay. What about you, Ms. Hughes?
I feel like they should have like the same dress code because I mean I think it's the same thing of like what we wear and they wear, but maybe they could have a little bit more freedom. But I think they should, even if they didn't have a dress code, just follow anyway because I mean they are a teacher and it's supposed to be more professional.
Okay. I used to work at another school back in '76, and and the superintendent of the school had all the students wearing school uniforms, right? She also wanted all the teachers to wear school uniform too. Do you agree with that? Like everyone wearing the same school uniform?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yeah, I say it's both.
I mean, it's as like if it's a uniform, that's great, but wearing the same stuff over and over gets tiring, especially when you have to wash it so many times. It's kind of in between for me.
Okay.
I agree.
You think teachers should wear the same clothes? I mean, like everyone wears the same uniform?
Well, no. At the end of the day, it matters on opinion.
Mm.
I would literally just say yes if I didn't like the teachers. So, but no, I don't think so. I think just the students should do it.
Okay.
I think just the students should do it too.
It's gonna be kind of weird to have my teacher wearing the same clothes as me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then cause then it's kind of like you all blend in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'll kind of forget your role. Now, if I had my way, and I mean, you all see how I dress sometimes. I'm pretty comfortable. But if I had my way, I would prefer teachers to dress professional. I was always told dress for the job that you want, not the job that you have. I would expect men to wear the shirt and ties and women to be professional as well too. But my thing is, if you want teachers to dress professional, pay teachers as professionals. It goes hand in hand, But if I had my way, you would see a lot of shirts and ties. You would see a lot of blazers, and I don't really know the proper name for professional women clothes, but professional women clothes, I don't wear those. But yeah, like some nice professional male and female clothes. Because I think when teachers come in dressed professional, they tend to handle their jobs a little bit better. And I think they're also seen a little bit better too, or perceived better. Because if I came in wearing, what I'm wearing now, jeans and a pair of sneakers and a button up, I'd probably be looked at more professional if I came in wearing a shirt and tie or a suit. I've actually did that experiment one time before where I came in dressed professional and I didn't have any behavior problems. None. Because if you notice, the more professional I dress, the kids are more like, yes sir, no sir in class. So if I had that way, yeah, professional dress. What you would see in a Fortune 500 company, I would expect that in the classroom. But pay those teachers like that too. So we did a survey with our students, and we asked students what they would want in their dress code. And what are those results? I think they're...
Do you want to read or I read?
You can read the first and then I'll go to shoot.
Out of how many people said no pajama attire, 25 people said no. 138 students said no hats or hoodies.
53 of them. Well, to be more specific, they saying that this stuff should be taken off the dress code
right,
list.
so this is what they want.
Yeah, this is what they want. They said 53 of them said crop tops should be allowed.
Okay. And what are some things that kids want banned? Like they want away, gone.
They want 5 people wanted house slippers gone, and 24 people wanted
No strap showing.
straps, and then 18 people wanted to ban blanket or robes.
I get that. People walking around with their sleep blankets and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. I know one kid told me, said, I wore this to bed last night. I just came to school. It's professionalism. But the number one thing that kids wanted was hats and hoods in the building. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. That's
Okay.
No,
nice.
you're right.
That's what they want. So let me ask your opinion. Do you think kids should be allowed to wear hats and hoods in a building, in a school building?
No.
Okay, why do you say no?
Hats and hoods, they could hide stuff either on top of their heads or behind with their hoodies on. They could bring something that isn't safe, either drugs or weapons that could result in something bad.
Okay, so you're looking at it as a safety issue. Okay.
I agree that hoodies shouldn't be put on, but hats I think you should be able to wear. And with this whole safety thing, it's stupid. Because you got your backpack, your pockets, all that. They ain't checking that. What's the purpose of stopping a hat and hoodie? If they want to see something, they could do it with their backpack and stuff. So if
so backpacks is a problem too.
Yeah. I think hats should be allowed, but not hoodies though, because they need to identify a student. Then the hood would hinder them from doing that. So
because you agree with Rain with the whole hood piece, with the safety issue. Good.
I think hats and hoodies should be allowed because, I was having a talk with a friend and she was asking, she don't get why the hats and hoodies are banned, because she said, like what he said, like, if we want to hide something, we can hide it in our backpacks. And the hats and hoodies, she said, it'd be more noticeable than, like, if you had it in your backpack. And I agree with her. So I think, like, hats and hoodies, you should be able to wear.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the fence. See, I'm old school. I feel that hats should be worn outside of the building, right? Hoods. I don't see why a hood should be inside of a building. And like, for example, if I'm teaching and I'm giving a test and I got a kid with an earbud in their ear or something like that, it could be somebody giving them the answer. We did that back in the day. I mean, so yeah, security measures. I think academic honesty measures. But then again, it's like you don't need the hood on if you got adequate temperature in the building. Also, security measures as well too. A hat. I mean, I have a few nice hats, and a lot of kids say, "Well, you gonna wear your hat in the building?" You probably would never see me wear a hat in the building because how I was raised. Now, that's not knocking anybody, but I can see why someone would want to be able to wear a hat in the building, or be able to, or maybe, how about the gymnasium? You think people can wear the hat in the gymnasium?
Gym?
Yeah.
No, you moving anyway. Probably fall off, but yeah, I agree. My dad, he taught me, not to wear hats into buildings too.
Yeah, it's just a gentlemanly thing to do.
Yeah.
But that's not knocking anybody's opinion though. Yeah, I mean, I think, you got this tug of war. Well, take your hood off, take your hat off, take your face mask off. I just think if it's like with a phone. If you teach people how to use it and where to use it, I think you'll be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Good deal with dress code. This Friday is St. Patrick's Day, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, and I think you all did some research on St. Patrick's Day. Go ahead and share that.
St. Patrick's Day was originally celebrated in Ireland. It was introduced by the British as early as 1762. The first parade was held in New York. In America, we celebrate this holiday on March 17th, although it isn't an official holiday in the U.S. St. Patrick's Day was made to celebrate the arrival of Christianity and share the heritage and culture of the Irish general. St. Patrick's Day is celebrated by eating corned beef and cabbage and gathering for parades.
People tend to wear green because they believe it makes you invisible to leprechauns that will pinch you. St. Patrick's Day started in 1631 in Ireland. It is believed that St. Patrick's Day isn't even Irish and was introduced through slavery. St. Patrick was kidnapped by the Irish raiding party and trafficked across the Irish Sea into slavery. He soon after became a priest and was thought highly of by the Irish, henceforth the name St. Patrick's Day.
And I'm glad you all said that, because people think that St. Patrick's Day is all about wearing green, getting pinched, and getting, indulging in alcoholic beverages. And the holiday is deeper than that. I know when I did my research, they said brown was the color of St. Patrick's Day, not green. The United States kind of warped the way the thing was looking. So I mean, that's what the United States do. But so I'm glad you said that. So now when people celebrate St. Patrick's Day, they kind of know a history of where it came from. Yeah. I mean, is it important to know the history of a holiday before you celebrate it?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because you might not know what you're celebrating.
Y'all agree with that? Yeah, I mean, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Okay,
the pagan holidays and stuff.
Right, and I'm real big on that in our classroom too. It's like you need to know what you're doing before you do it, and why you're doing it, instead of after you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So shout out to St. Patrick's Day. If you celebrate it responsibly with education. Rain, you introduced a game to us, and we also took it and kind of implemented it into our broadcast club as far as discussion topics. I'll go ahead and let you introduce to everybody, and when I say everybody, the whole world, what you taught us.
So this game that I brought is called Hot Takes, a party game of spicy opinions, and it has a bunch of cards, and each card has like a really difficult like topic to talk about. Not difficult, but like you have a strong opinion on it. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like an argumentative game.
Okay. And also, for those of you who are watching and familiar with hot takes, we did make sure it was the PG rated,
Mm.
student friendly. So we'll go ahead and let you take it away, Rain.
All right. And if two people like disagree or have the opposite opinion, you talk about like what you think, you know? So this is the first card. The Olympics should happen every year.
I agree.
I disagree.
Why?
I disagree because I think like when something keep happening over and over, it doesn't be as exciting anymore. And I think like if you just have it those each couple years, it'll be more exciting. So when it comes up, everybody want to celebrate it and look at it. But if it happens every year, it's like a every year thing. So
That depends what you wanna what point of view you looking at it, because it actually says athletes is one of the most growing occupation ever, and with that being said, it's new athletes that's want to test their abilities and become known, and the Olympics is a very well way to show your skills to the world. So I feel like it'll give much more opportunities to young athletes. That's why I agree.
I don't think it should happen every year because, like what she said, it won't be as exciting. And, you know, for the Olympics, you would have to plan ahead of, like, what's going on. Because the Olympics, it's a big, big thing, big event. Yeah, training as well. Do you want to move on to the next question? All right. Healthcare should be free and universal.
Yeah.
yes.
I also agree. That was a fast one. Of the 3 meals, breakfast is the best.
No.
I disagree.
I disagree.
I do too.
I can't. I don't really eat breakfast that much.
Y'all gotta explain that one because breakfast is on point. You know, some French toast with some little syrup on it.
I mean,
Well, yeah, but when you obviously know it's not the best, because when you think of food, you don't think of breakfast food immediately.
you think of like tacos, spaghetti.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I were to ask you,
Yeah.
what's your favorite food? We'll end it right now.
What's
your favorite food?
If I man, why you put me on the spot?
Good.
Yeah, y'all's parents are watching. You see how your kids do me? Now, my favorite food off the top, I like wings. Y'all know that.
Exactly.
But hold on now, it ain't nothing better than eating breakfast food on a time that's not breakfast.
Yeah, I agree with that. Hold on. So what was the question? But this is asking about the meal.
Out of the three, lunch, dinner, and breakfast.
Breakfast, I mean, to me it's the best because it starts off your day.
Yeah. I guess I say that because I don't eat breakfast every day, and I do eat the other two majority of days. So I would say, breakfast is not the best.
I like dinner.
Yeah.
Dinner's my favorite.
Cause I can't go to sleep on an empty stomach.
Yeah. What do you think?
Dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, set me up.
It's unmanly to cry. I don't think it's unmanly.
Jesus wept. Nope.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's unmanly.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I don't think it's unmanly.
See, it takes a lot to like hold in all of your emotions, and sometimes you just need to let it all out, you know. Employees should get a raise each year that at minimum accounts for inflation.
Yeah. Only when I
Yes.
start working, yeah. But right now, no. Yeah, I agree.
I also agree. What do you think?
I agree.
Famous people are usually happier than regular people.
No.
I think that's truly opinionated. If you love the famous life, then sure. But I'll say majority don't, so no.
Yeah. I can't with like paparazzi and like
Yeah.
people walking up to you like, hey, can I get a selfie? I mean, that's not a bad thing, but it gets annoying, you know, with so many people asking. People should get a ticket for leaving a shopping cart in the parking lot.
No.
No, because I don't think they should do it, but I'm pretty sure everybody been guilty once upon a time of doing that. Or like not in the middle, but like putting it on the grass or something.
Yeah.
Or if you putting it in the car, you don't push it all the way in. It's still out to where it get hit something.
Yeah.
You just walking. Yeah.
Yeah. Middle seat should get both armrests.
Yes. Well, no. It's like when I was the youngest,
Mm.
or when I was the smallest of the two, I would be in the middle. But since I'm not no more, I don't think so. Cause look, it's 3 seats.
Mhm.
Somebody's gonna get both of them,
Yeah.
and 9 times out of 10, the left and right seat is the bigger ones.
Mhm.
So that's which one I would be sitting in. I'm not sitting in the middle. So they not getting. I don't want them to get 2. I want to get 2.
Mm-mm. What do you think?
I don't think you should get 2.
Why?
Exactly.
I wouldn't mind living my life backward, but Benjamin Button style.
No.
I don't know what that means.
That means he started life as an old man and he got younger instead of getting older.
That's what I said. No. I mean, I guess you do start off. That means you go from a wise man to
Being
a fool. I don't want that.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
It's always worth it to leave the party earlier than everyone else.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think both, cause, something bad could happen after you leave, or something really good could happen. Unless it starts going bad, then you should probably leave. Gender reveal parties are dumb.
No.
No.
You scared to say no?
I guess not. No. No.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. You should be able to see the salary of every other employee at your company.
No.
No.
No. Mm-mm.
That's nosy.
That is nosy.
Hold on. Okay. Wait. Okay. What if it's a person who does not do as much work as you,
That is true.
but they get paid more than you do?
Then what do you need to see that salary for?
So I can say, hey, look, hold up, man. This dude comes to work 20 hours a week. I work 40 hours a week. Why are you getting $20,000 more than I am?
Cause you'll dig yourself in the hole. Then you find out the next dude getting 40,000. Then he getting 60, and they all getting paid more. It's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah,
It can drive you crazy.
It can be. But what drive me real crazy is someone getting paid more than me and they ain't working.
Yeah.
Halloween is the best holiday.
No.
No.
Mm-mm. I like Thanksgiving. I love eating food.
I like Christmas.
I also like Christmas.
Thanksgiving too, yes.
Women are kinder than men.
That's
No.
bull crap. No
I think
gender
both.
put in. That's not a thing. I mean, I'm sure you can say the majority one is. That's stupid.
It kind of depends on how they were raised.
When I think of nice, I think of like if I think of nice people, I tend to think of old women. So I guess you could say that. Not old women, but wise, elderly
Yeah.
women.
Trying to clean it up.
Yeah. I don't want it to sound disrespectful. Yeah, grandmas and stuff. Not old women. Yeah, grandmas there.
Family is the most important thing in life.
Sure. No, I don't want it to sound like that. For me, yeah, it's God and my family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being a stay-at-home mom is a full-time job.
Yes.
Yeah. Kind of. I agree.
Why do you say kind?
Cause you're taking care of your kids. That's a job. But like, if everything is done and you don't have to do much, it's not really a job unless you're working from home. Then I guess that could be considered a full-time job.
Well, you'll never understand until you have kids.
It's fair to ask the genie for infinite wishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They tell you can ask anything, and usually half of them. Like, when you see the movies and stuff, they don't tell you can't ask that till after you ask that. So,
That's true.
if they tell you before, then it's not fair. But, If they just say you got 3 wishes and you ask, they should make it come true.
I don't have an answer. I mean, I guess people who grew up with social media will have less interpersonal communication skills.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Disagree?
I agree.
I kind of agree. Yeah. Because then it's going to be a problem to, like, if you have to socialize with somebody you don't know, like a stranger or somebody that works somewhere, it's going to be hard for them. Ghosts are real.
No, ghost ain't real. They would have been done got ghost ain't real.
What about you?
Mm.
I've had weird experiences.
Those are demons. You need to pray.
The
Thursday.
last,
That suit.
I mean, the last house that I lived in was, I'd say, haunted because a lot of stuff happened there that makes me think they are sort of real.
Mm.
But I don't know. Some celebrities are more influential than the president. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is hard. I prefer Chinese food over Mexican food.
Yes.
Chinese food or Mexican food?
Both.
At the same time?
I'd have to say both. They're both really good.
Yeah, I don't know if I could pick. Barbecue on top, though.
People are inherently good. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what you believe on. Like, they saying, like, inherited good. Like, I think they believe, saying,
Like
people
they're kind
born
people?
good. Inherently, like, you just inherit, like, goodness. I think that's what that's asking. Yeah, you just good.
Yeah. Apologizing is weak? No.
No.
You're like, it's showing that you're sorry by telling them, I guess. I don't know how to put it. The crust is the best part of the pizza.
No.
No. It doesn't have that much flavor. College students shouldn't be allowed to have pets.
No.
French fries are the best form a potato can take. That's hard, because you got mashed potatoes, you got baked potatoes, tater tots, hash browns. Do you think French fries are the best form a potato can take?
You asking me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so. I like French fries, especially them fries from Rallies with Checkers back in the day.
Yeah, those.
Yeah, seasoned fries. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
Yeah.
If you drink all the Kool-Aid from the Kool-Aid man, he will live.
He'll die.
That's like his blood,
Yeah.
basically. I don't
It's like
know.
a fish. Or is he just a jar?
I don't know. Is his body the jar or the juice?
I don't know.
Because if his jar would break, would he still be alive? If he still had the juice?
I don't think he needs the juice.
I would rather have twice as long legs than twice as long arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of hard. Pineapple is a delicious pizza topping.
No.
Go ahead and finish that one up.
This one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Pineapple is a delicious pizza topping?
Yes.
No.
Why?
Because it just don't seem right. It just don't.
It's not as bad. I tried it for the first time. It does taste weird, but it's not delicious, but I don't mind it if it's on there. I wouldn't pick it out like as if I hate it. It's okay.
Rain, I want to thank you for introducing that because that was very fun watching you all do that. I mean, I wouldn't mind you all doing a whole show surrounded around high techs. That was awesome. It was also an awesome show as well too because we have we covered a wide variety of topics. RMS Radio is continuing to grow and is continuing to amass more popularity because of the hard work that you all put in. So I want to thank you all for that. Any closing comments before we go?
Nope.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Now, RMS Radio will be back next month, so stay tuned. Have a good evening.